Welcome y'all to the Blackhoof Saloon, a Wild West Exodus podcast. Mosey on up to the bar and get yourself a bottle of firewater or a glass of sarsaparilla and listen to some good old yarns about adventures of law dogs, outlaws, and weird creatures. So set a spell, water your ride or your rider, and get ready to tune up your posses. This is the Blackhoof Saloon.
All right, guys, this is Eric and Brian from the Blackhoof Saloon, and we kind of got a surprise for you guys, a little bit of an unboxing, because I think Brian can't wait to start tearing into these two boxes he picked up today of the new releases for this month, actually. One is in Dystopian Wars, and then you got another one that we'll feature when we move on to it, but we'll keep the surprise a little bit, right, Brian?
Right, yeah, we're gonna have two videos pop out this weekend, and one for Wild West Exodus and Lost World Exodus, and then one for Dystopian Wars.
Yep.
So we're gonna jump into the new Elector Battle Fleet set for the Imperium faction in Dystopian Wars, and so this is, I was looking forward to this one because it's the Imperium, which is got the Tectonic Knights and a really cool theme. It's going to be one of the Lost World Exodus factions that I'm like eagerly awaiting.
So
to
this
see
is going to be
models for.
This is going to be your faction for Dystopian Wars, right?
Yeah, this is going to probably be my primary faction, although they keep sneaking peeks of other factions, and it's like, ooh, maybe I might need those too.
Well, isn't that what happened with Wild West Exodus too with us? I mean, you had to have it all.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. So here's the box, and I mean the artwork they released as a wallpaper when Dystopian Wars first released in January. So some of us have seen this artwork already.
Yeah,
but
I think it's on the Dystopian Wars website too. I think it's in the resource section. You can go and download all the different wallpapers that they got.
Right. So but the artwork on the box is nice. It looks like someone punched a hole in some steel decking with the artwork underneath. It's really kind of cool.
Yeah, it is neat.
And as you know, one of the nicest things about Warcradle's box sets are the way they do the sleeve, and then there's an actual box. Inside the sleeve. And surprise,
you were teasing me a little bit about that.
Dystopian Wars has a different box. Right? So it was a black box for the 2-player set, but this Battle Fleet box has got something different. So drum roll. I saw this and was like, what? And so I'm going to do this one-handed.
Oh, wow.
Juggle. But the box is rusty metal.
The logo looks gold too. Is it gold or is it just a reflection?
Gold embossed symbol, but the actual design on the box
is neat.
Like a rusty metal from an old junker ship.
Man,
I am.
Wow. And here I thought they were gonna go, like the basic color schemes they were doing with the other games, and Lost World sets we saw were green. But holy cow, that's like a step up right there.
Yeah. So you see the rivets on the box. I mean,
for a box.
It's just the box, right?
Oh man, and they embossed the side too. Wow.
Yeah.
Here, listen to us. We're getting excited about a box and the embossing in it.
When I took the wrapping off, I was like, "Oh, whoa! It's not black. It's not a black box." And then I pulled it out, and I was like, "No way! That is wicked cool."
Wow.
And I apologize that we'll be filming with my phone, and I lost my tripod broke, so So there'll be a little bit of motion in this video. So the box comes off.
Now this set basically is to build onto. No, that's right. This didn't come in the 2-player starter, so this
That's right.
is like a fleet right here, ready to go and put on the table.
Right. So this is very similar to what a standard fleet box you're going to buy as a starting point for a new faction. So the
Okay.
2-player box set is a little bit different because it has a theme. So you actually, what's in the box is a little bit different than how you would normally buy a fleet. You would start with a battle fleet set, and this is the Elector set. So each battle fleet set is basically going to be a resin battleship, then typically 2 sprues of their frontline squadrons. So with the Imperium, this is the first box that you can buy for the Imperium. So it's going to be the battle fleet box. So in a following month of release will be the Imperium frontline sprue, which will be a box of 2 of the sprues that come in this box. So you can build onto this fleet by just adding frontline box.
Okay. That's pretty neat.
The battleship in this box set is the Elector class.
Okay.
So in the future, you'll see another battle fleet box, but it'll be something different. It'll have a different name. I do know one of the arts that we saw was for the Imperium's like Sky Fortress.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That's
thing.
They had that in the old game, didn't they? Something similar.
Yeah. So we're gonna set the resin aside, and we'll look at that in a bit. And I'm gonna pull out this sprue. I'm gonna put the box here so we can look at the sprue. All right, so this is a sprue, and this sprue will have 2 of the this fleet's frontline frigates, and then a cruiser. And one of the neatest parts of this design is the Imperium, in an effort of flexibility for their fleets, the armaments for their fleets main guns are swappable, just like we use magnets. Well, they use trains. So that's train tracks for the method of getting these large cannons or missile rocket launchers on and off the ship, so they can basically change that whole configuration to be a different style of their fleet. So some of the newer parts, if you see here, this is an Imperium rocket battery. So it's a little different than the rocket battery we saw on the Commonwealth sprue.
Okay.
As you see, it does have some of the generators. So you see, here's one of the generators here.
So it looks like you're going to be messing with more magnets with all the different options.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'll need to order some more. So this is their heavy cannon for the Imperium. So it's a little bit different design. For the generators,
we got 4 options there, it looks like.
Here's a series of the broadsides for the cruiser.
Okay.
And these are the big giant howitzer. So that's like one of the heavy armaments that come on the sprue.
And that thing's huge.
Yeah. And then if you can see,
is that train tracks I see right there, or train wheels? I should.
Actual train engine.
Oh my gosh!
So each sprue comes with a train, so you can actually deck out one that looks like they're in prep to remove one of the gantries that store these weapons on them. And you see this right here is how the bridge moves up and down the hull. So it kind of gets out of the way, so your armor can offload, and the bridge kind of moves, aside so you can get on. If you look, that's one of the bridges right there.
Okay.
And it has very much a helmet of a knight.
Yeah. Yeah. I like how the what would you call that? The Iron Cross, right? Very similar to what we have in the world, and I like how they have it here and there, on the different pieces.
There's the frigate's bridge. So continuing with the motif of how the frigate and the cruiser is very similar design. So, and here's the frigates, and of course, because they're smaller, they only have need of one rail because their armors are a little bit smaller. But the cruiser, of course, is bigger, so it has like a double rail system.
Okay.
So in these are the two halves to the big double cannons or double missiles. So you'd put like in these little discs, you'd put either these heavy cannons or the missile rocket batteries. And I remember someone was saying that they didn't think this kit had a lot of detail, but
It looks like a lot of detail to me.
I see a lot. I see quite a bit. It's different,
Yeah.
But I do enjoy.
But I think that's what I think each fleet essentially has to look different. It's gonna be different in order to stand out, and kind of capture its theme and be individual. I think that's cool that it is that much different from what we've seen so far.
Right. So here's the broadsides for the frigates.
Now, are those supposed to be like smokestacks? Is that what that is? Where the cross
right.
is?
So so the way these are designed is because the center line of the hull is has to make room for the train tracks.
Yeah.
The bridge straddles the tracks.
Okay.
Right, and then the smokestacks are on the sides of the bridge.
Okay.
See, those are the vents for the smokestacks. And then, of course, for the cruiser, the smokestack is much bigger. So
yeah, those things are huge.
So that is and dude, check out the prow on this thing, man.
Yeah, that's
it's huge,
man. That's neat. That it's whereas the other ships were more pointed, like an arrowhead. Well, I can't say like this is like an arrowhead too, but it's a different kind of point, which is really neat.
Yeah, it sets it off a bit different. Now, the only thing I noticed that they didn't do for that decking is it's smooth decking instead of the wood grain.
Yeah.
So, and then if you look at the picture, it showed to be wood decking. So, I'm sure there's going to be plenty of us that will probably make it so.
Yeah. Man, oh man.
Be a paint.
Yeah.
All right. So that is the Elector Frontline Squadron or the Imperium Frontline Squadron sprue. So you'll see this in a coming release where you just get two of these in a box and it'd be the Frontline Squadron.
Okay.
So I'll put that to the side and we now can break out what's in this bubble wrap.
It's got bubble wrap. That means it's possibly resin, maybe?
Right. So this is the resin battleship. So
big boy.
Right. So when you get these battle fleets, you're gonna always have at least one battleship that is going to be resin. So I think that's pretty much the
Wow,
standard what to expect
that is
for
huge.
now. This is the Elector battleship.
But that's nice looking.
It's your stairwell going down,
Oh my gosh, yeah, you can see the actual stairs.
and it's got the big iron cross. See the full broadside, and if you look, the bulkhead very similar in design as the cruiser,
Mm-hmm.
but just not as many of these little details on the side.
It's like it's cleaner looking, slicker looking, but it still has plenty of detail.
You see the forward torpedo launching tube, the train tracks. It's got a couple aft mini turrets, some detailing on the back bulkhead. It's kind of nice and clean as well. And here is the bridge. Focus on it.
There you go. Look at all those rivets.
Look at the rivets, and again, the bridge design is very much like the visor of a medieval knight's helmet. Then the top looks like it's got some kind of generator of some kind. I think in the artwork there's arc technology kind of sparking
Yeah,
off of it.
yeah.
So it may be some huge Tesla coil.
That's what I was thinking. I was wondering if that's what they were going for, is like a Tesla coil.
And if
That's
you look,
pretty
the
neat.
bridge has its own broadsides as well.
Hmm.
And see the arms of this hold up the bridge. So the bridge will float over the deck.
That's neat.
And here's the rest of the thing. So these are like we talked about, the exhaust tubes. They would go here. They would mount here and here.
And
So
those have a
again,
lot of.
straddling the central core of the twin rail system. And of course, the battleship uses the plastic, uh, you know, double, armament
Mm-hmm.
chassis, right? So if you look similar to this, these are the big howitzer rigs, and there's one for each train track, or you can plug in one of these rigs that has the double
Okay.
uh, heavy key. And if you on the back side, there's enough room. This thing's big enough where it'll be able to have one on the front and one on the back.
Yeah, that thing's pretty big.
So yeah, as the bridge sits in the middle, you'd be able to have cannons in the front and cannons in the back, or howitzers in the front, cannons in the back. Or instead of putting anything in the back, you can have that train sitting here, so it looks like it's waiting to unload a new rig.
Yeah, that's neat.
Yeah. So, Dystopian Wars Elector Battle Fleet set for the Imperium faction, and it's
So how
wicked
many
cool.
ships? How many ships do you get in that? About, do you get that one, and how many other ones?
So you'll get the battleship, the Elector battleship. You'll
Okay.
get two of the cruisers,
Okay.
and then four frigates.
Okay. So that's 7 ships. That's a good amount.
And then to build on this, you would just pick up more. You either pick up another box if you want another Elector,
Yeah.
or you pick up the Frontline Squadron box that's going to come out in the coming month.
Okay. Yeah, it wouldn't be a bad idea just to get 2 of these, because then you could do those different build outs if you didn't want to
That's
uh,
right.
mess around with magnets. So where you switch them out, but it'd be nice to have 2 of them with the different options. Cool.
Yep. So here they are, and obviously I'll probably be tinkering with these shortly and record some video of me building them, and I'll share that with everybody again.
All right. Well, we said we had another one, right, Brian? Want to go ahead and we'll go into that one for our next
Yeah,
video?
we'll say goodbye on this video and
Okay.
be looking for our Lost World Exodus, Wild West Exodus video that'll be dropping pretty much concurrently with this one.
All right.
See you on the Western Plains.
Thanks for stopping by the Blackhoof Saloon, y'all. We hope you enjoyed your visit. Feel free to get a hold of us with comments or questions via the interwebs and shoot us a telegraph at blackhoofsaloon@gmail.com. You can also find us on the Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Music for the podcast was provided for use by Ross Bugden and can be found at one of his YouTube channels, Ross Bugden Music or Ross Bugden Composer. Until your next visit, ride with the sun at your back and always roll those big crits.